Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Small Path of Exiles 2. Today we're talking about Count Geonor, however you pronounce it, the final boss of Act 1, how to beat him, all the abilities, everything you need to be looking out for. But before I get into it, I'm giving away 350 gold. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button if you want to, I'd appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below telling me your favorite class and setup and build setup that you have, because I'm interested in trying out new characters. So Count Geonor has officially 2 phases, but essentially 3 phases, because during phase 1 he can swap from his human side to his wolf side. The wolf side is what he eventually becomes in phase 2, so I class it as 2 separate phases within the first phase because it's a very different fight each time. So one of the things you want to be doing in this fight is basically hitting and moving, especially if you're melee, because a lot of his attacks, especially when he's a human, are very close range. He just swings his swords a couple of times. You could dodge around him, that's a really good way to get around him, but he does big combos with his swords. The other 2 moves that he does are basically a stab and a skewer, where he'll draw his sword back and you'll see like a little flash, and then he'll stab you with it, or he'll run towards you, stab you with it, and run you towards the wall and shove you up against the wall. These are all very easily avoidable and probably the easiest part of this entire fight. You just have to keep an eye on when you're doing attack damage from close range to constantly be dodging and getting out of the way of all his moves. This boss is also stunnable, so if you have any way, shape or form of building stun on him, just keep doing it until you see the little white light above his head. Hit him with your stun move and then just pile on as much damage as you can. If you're quick out the gate, like my footage in the background, you will get him down to his wolf form pretty quickly, and that's when the fight really starts. So when he turns into his wolf form, the one main move you need to be on the lookout for, the one that will instantly kill you, is you'll see him kind of vanish in the middle of the room like he's teleporting up into the sky. Then there'll be a red circle on the floor. If you are inside this red circle when he lands, he will more than likely kill you. So as soon as you see him start to go up into the sky, you need to be getting out of the way and dodging, because I think it determines where he's going to land as he's flying upwards, not as he's coming downwards, so you can easily get out of it. That's the one thing you need to be looking for during this phase of the fight. There are also ads here as well. Ads obviously help you build with any charges that you need for any kind of move, but you should be taking them out as quick as possible just so that they don't get in the way of your fight. In this section you want to be moving as much as possible, because the big wolf, Mr. Count Geonor, will kind of recoil backwards and then charge at you, and he'll either do one of 2 moves, where he runs and jumps across and tries to bite you, or he'll run at you spraying blood, and the spraying blood hurts a lot, so you need to make sure you're not in the way of it. Now at any point during this phase 1 wolf section, he can turn back into his human self, and typically what he does is he does a charge move with the wolf towards one of the walls, and then he stops, turns and swings his sword, which covers about half the battlefield. So if you ever see the actual wolf come flying at you, get to the other side of the room. Is the best bet to be, is just on the other side of the room so that last swing doesn't hurt you. So when you get to phase 2 and he becomes the wolf, he's going to have more ice attacks than anything. That's the main thing you're going to see, and he has 2 big ones. Now the first one, you'll see him walk to the center of the room and stab his sword into the floor, and then little patches of ice will grow out all around him across the entire battlefield. This is going to turn into very painful ice attacks, so you need to be standing in a place where none of these can touch you. You can stand between them, but you're better off just getting to the other side of the map, away from them as far as possible. The second move that he will do is he'll lift his sword up into the sky, and then loads of beams will start to hit the floor. These beams are basically just splash damage AoE, so you need to be dodging away from them. Everywhere you move to, his next lot of attacks will go near where you are, so you constantly need to be moving and keep dodging through this entire attack. He will continue to do the disappear and slam into the floor move, except after he slams into the floor, he'll also add in the big swing that we were talking about in phase 1. So you really need to be as far away as possible when you see him teleporting and ready to stomp on you. Pretty much every move that he does now, there's a ice breath that he does too, which is followed by that big swinging sword. So you just need to make sure that when you are in vicinity of the boss and you see him doing a specific move, just get ready to dodge away or dodge through the big swing attack, because that will do a big chunk of damage. And now for terms of mechanics of the fight, it is rinse and repeat until he's dead. However, there is one other section that you will encounter, and essentially what he'll do is he'll cover the majority of the battle arena in misty fog. If you are standing in this fog, you'll start to take damage. You'll spawn a whole bunch of little minions. Now what they're trying to do is get you to focus on the minions that the boss can damage you. So if you want to, you can run around with the minions following you, except if there's too many of them, they'll start to push you into the dust. So if you could take them out as quick as possible, then great. But what's going to happen here is every 4 seconds, or every time the boss says something out loud, if you hear him say something, he's going to come charging through the screen to hit you. So you just need to time your dodges perfectly. It's around about every 4 seconds. Then once you've killed all the enemies in that area, once he's stopped with the snow mist, or whatever you want to call it, the ice mist, it will eventually go back to doing the same moves that we just spoke about. So it's just a game of attrition. It's really focusing on really looking at what he's doing on screen, dodging whenever you can, the best that you can, because it is a very dodge heavy fight, and then just finish him off and kill him and move on to Act 2. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.
I smell your blood, and I am ravenous. Freezing gale. I will take out your heart!